A garden of memories. In the heart of a bustling city, there was a small, overgrown garden tucked behind a row of tall buildings. It was a forgotten space, with vines crawling over cracked stone walls and wildflowers blooming in every corner. Few knew of its existence, except for one person, Emma, a quiet woman who had stumbled upon the garden one autumn afternoon. Emma loved this hidden sanctuary. She came there every day after work, sitting on a weathered bench with a book in hand. The city's noise faded into a distant hum, leaving her with the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle scent of jasmine that lingered in the air. One day, as Emma sat reading her favorite book, she heard a soft voice from behind her. "Mind if I join you?" Startled, she turned to see a man standing at the entrance of the garden, holding a sketchpad and a pencil. He was tall, with tousled brown hair and a kind, warm smile. His clothes were casual, yet there was something about him that immediately put her at ease. "Sure," Emma replied, offering a shy smile. The man walked over and sat on the other end of the bench, opening his sketchpad. For a few minutes, neither of them spoke, but Emma could feel his presence, comfortable and unintrusive. After a while, curiosity got the better of her. "Are you an artist?" she asked, glancing at his sketchpad. He smiled again, glancing down at his work. "Sort of. I like to capture things that most people don't notice, like this garden. It's peaceful here, isn't it?" Emma nodded. "It is. I come here almost every day, but I've never seen anyone else." "How did you find it?" He looked up at the sky, thinking for a moment before answering. "I was wandering around the city, feeling lost in a way. Then, I heard the sound of birds and found my way here. It feels like the world slows down when you step inside, doesn't it?" Emma couldn't help but agree. There was something special about the garden, a sense of calm that seemed to draw them both in. They introduced themselves. His name was Alex, and from that day on, their paths began to intertwine. The blossoming connection. Emma and Alex started meeting in the garden regularly. Some days, they talked about their lives. Emma, a book editor, who had a habit of getting lost in stories, and Alex, a freelance illustrator who had traveled the world but still felt like something was missing. Other days, they sat in comfortable silence, with Emma reading and Alex sketching the flowers, trees, and occasionally, Emma herself. As the weeks passed, their friendship deepened. Emma found herself looking forward to their meetings more than anything else. Alex had a way of making her laugh, and he seemed to notice the little things about her that no one else did. Like the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was deep in thought, or how she always chose the same spot on the bench, just where the sunlight hit in the late afternoon. One afternoon, as autumn was turning to winter, Emma arrived at the garden to find Alex waiting for her, a small bouquet of wildflowers in his hand. "For you," he said, handing them to her with a shy smile. "I know they're from the garden, but they reminded me of you, wild and beautiful in your own way." Emma felt her cheeks flush. "Thank you," she whispered, feeling a warmth spread through her. She had never been one to believe in grand gestures or sudden love, but with Alex, everything felt right. Natural. The confession. As winter approached, the garden became their refuge from the cold world outside. One evening, snow began to fall as they sat together, their breath visible in the chilly air. Alex had been quieter than usual, and Emma sensed that something was on his mind. "Emma," he began, his voice soft, "I've been thinking a lot lately. About us." Her heart raced. She wasn't sure where this was going, but she nodded for him to continue. Alex turned to face her, his expression serious but tender. I've traveled all over the world, but I've never felt at home until I met you. You make me feel grounded, like I finally belong somewhere. I don't know how to say this without sounding cliché, but I think I'm in love with you." Emma blinked, her heart skipping a beat. She had dreamed of hearing those words but had never expected them to come so soon, or so perfectly. "I love you too, Alex," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't realize it until recently, but you've become the best part of my days." Relief and joy flooded Alex's face, and before Emma could say another word, he leaned in and kissed her. It was a gentle kiss, full of the warmth and promise of the love they had been building for months. As snowflakes danced around them, the rest of the world disappeared, leaving just the two of them in their secret garden. The happy ending from that day on, Emma and Alex's love blossomed like the flowers in the garden. They continued meeting there, but now they shared more than just conversations and quiet moments. They shared dreams, plans, and hopes for the future. As the years passed, they turned the overgrown garden into something even more beautiful. They cleared the weeds, planted new flowers, and even added a small wooden arch covered in ivy. It became their place, a symbol of their love and the life they had built together. On a warm spring day, surrounded by their closest friends and family, Emma and Alex stood beneath that very arch and promised to love each other for the rest of their lives. And as they kissed, the garden bloomed around them, as if it too was celebrating their love.